Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks for checking back in on the progress of the wagon. Um, Although it may appear I'm about to head out to the grocery store, I'm actually working on the roof. Um, I just spent a lot of time sanding back the resin, getting it all leveled out, getting all the air bubbles out, uh, low spots, all that kind of stuff. Those are things that can happen as a result of the wet layup. Obviously, if you do some kind of infusion, you get a perfect 1-to-1 ratio with the resin and the carbon fiber. But the roof turned out well. It's all fully cured up. It's sanded out really nice and flat. Didn't run into too many issues with the layup, especially given that it was our first time doing a huge panel like this. So as you can see, when you sand the resin, it gets all matted out and doesn't have any gloss to it, like it did when it initially cured. But add a little bit of water to it. There's the gloss again. That's what it'll end up looking like after a clear coat. So I haven't decided if I want to do a matte clear coat, semi-gloss, gloss. I don't think I really want anything too shiny, but something to show off the carbon fiber would be pretty cool. So I wasn't planning on doing this tonight, but I'm getting pretty anxious to see how this turned out. So I'm going to start cutting the roof off. I'm not going to cut the metal roof off, just the carbon skin that we just finished making. Shouldn't be too hard. Mark my words, later in the clip when I can't get it off. But the front seam turned out really nice here. Got a really good angle. Obviously it's a little bubbly, rough, just because I haven't been able to get in there and sand it. But perfect right angle along the front edge. So you can cut it here. That'll get it out of the windshield area. And what I ended up doing with the gutters is when I was doing the carbon layup, I made sure to keep everything super tight in the gutter and not let it get fully saturated with resin here. And then when I was doing the last layer of resin, just to level everything off, I let it overflow into the gutter. And the reason I did that was, my thinking is it gives me a little bit more room when I do cut in here to square everything off. I can sand it after I cut it. And make sure I have a nice right angle along this seam. And then, so hopefully that works out. That's going to be the longest, most difficult cut down the whole roof length. And out back here, turned out pretty well as well. This was definitely the hardest area. It was the smallest angled area to try and get the carbon to wrap and sit tight. So obviously as the resin and the fiber build up, it doesn't sit as tight. There's only about a 4-5 millimeter right angle along the top edge that it can sit in. So not too worried about how tight it's going to fit back there. There's plenty of, this whole surface area is flat and it's at the back. So the wind's going to be coming this way. It's not going to be lifting here unless we spin around, which isn't the plan either. But getting it off back here is just going to be a simple cut along the middle and then cleaning it up and shortening it once we see what it looks like underneath here. So it's just a rough cut to see if we can even pop this big panel off. As you can see, the sanding yielded pretty good results. Got a nice flat carbon roof. Looks really cool and matte. So now we're gonna jump to the time lapse where I will be using my brand new grinder as my Harbor Freight one finally died after 10 years of use. So two things are important when you're working with any composite materials, fiberglass, carbon fiber, that kind of stuff. Wear gloves when you're messing with it because it gets very sharp. These edges, if they get some resin in them, they'll be needle sharp. And the other thing is, don't take your mask off because you don't want to breathe this stuff in. It's almost as bad as the virus. I got this gutter cut pretty much all the way down. So this side has released, which tells me at least one thing, that the wax worked over here. So I'm just trying to crack this up a little bit. If I can get it out of the way, that'll give me some nice room to work with. Also starting to get this front seam cut up a bit. It's pretty messy. Now it's cut up. But we're making progress. Just trying to make sure I don't cut the gutter or the roof support that I'm trying to save. If you can't hear me, I do apologize, but I'm not taking my mask off. There's too much dust in the air. Whoa, that's a lot of dust. So I managed to get the gutters cut. Not only did the gutters cut pretty easily, but the overlap on the side of the car came off no problem at all, which again is a good sign that the main panel is going to come off relatively easily. So I also got the front lip trimmed up a little bit. I didn't want to go too close, no point in doing that and cutting the metal for, by accident. So I'm trying to decide if I should pick it up from the back. I should probably pick it up from multiple angles. This overlap in here is a bit difficult to get out. And I don't want to pull it too hard from the back since there's a lot of leverage on this big panel. I don't want to crack it. So I'm going to see if I can do this one-handed. Look like there's a few more things to snip here. Then I'm going to try and lift it one-handed. All right, I was able to get that overlap out of the way. And we got movement. Maybe you can't see that on camera since I'm wiggling about myself, but this lifts up. That's a great sign. However, the gutters, pretty solid. That was my fear, is that we're gonna get a good lock in there. So might require another trim around the gutters. I'm gonna play with it and see what we can figure out. All right, so after a bunch of relief cuts along the gutters due to a mechanical lock forming, just like I thought would happen, We're starting to make some progress here. That's some separation. So it looks like everything did its job underneath there. So a little more work loosening up this side. We should be able to get it clear. All right, got a little more progress. Got this panel up. As you can see, I've been able to spray some water underneath it, which is reacting with the PVA release film. As you can see here, this green stuff is running out. That's the release film dissolving in the water. So between that and the relief cuts on the edges, I'm making a little bit of progress on peeling this top off. All right. Making good progress. I've just been using my arm as a wedge and getting water under there to react with the PVA film. And we're getting some good poppage here. Poppage is a technical term when dealing with carbon fiber. Again, sorry for the audio. I've got a fan running to make sure I don't suffocate out here. And my face is covered in a mask. There we go. There's some pretty sweet peel action. And move on to the front, see if I can get that to, oh, might just, oh, it's there. It's there. We've got it, people. Let's come up here. That's it. That is it. You are here to witness carbon fiber roof pop off the top of the wagon. That's it. Woo. The shame about wet layup is the beautiful side is always going to be on the side that's facing the mold. So that's the downside. But that's it. That is it. That is one carbon fiber roof skin for an S4 wagon. Homemade. That is pretty cool. So a lot of people thought I was just making my metal roof have a carbon overlay, which is faking the funk in my opinion. So I don't know what I look like. That's it. So next mission is to clean up the edges here. Got plenty of room to work with. It's got plenty of mechanical lock on the roof already, as we could tell. So that with some 3M car adhesive nonsense should make this stick really nicely. And then of course, got to cut the metal roof out, and I'm going to cut within the border. So just the upper skin is coming out. The edges are staying. One, to keep the integrity of the area, and two, to give me a good mounting point for this. So that's it. Carbon fiber roof skin for B5S4. That's how you do it. So part 3 will be adhering it. And thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me in the struggle of getting this off. And like, comment, subscribe. Check out the next one. Thanks.